Yes, Bolt fan, hold on to your seats because what I'm about to tell you now is one of those moments that make the NFL shake. Prepare for your heart to beat faster than a 100-yard return because the Los Angeles Chargers just shook the board in a way no one expected and, of course, left everyone speechless. And look, before I reveal the behind-the-scenes look at this historic play, I want to ask one thing of you who truly love the Bolts. Like the video now because here I'll show you every detail, every behind-the-scenes look, and every impact it will have on the team. You won't want to miss a thing, and believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's to come this season. In a historic setting, the Chargers opened the season against their division rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the result was simply electrifying. A remarkable victory, an inspired performance by names many already doubted, and a night that promises to be one for the books. And look, it wasn't just about winning the game, it was about rebirth, about players silenced by critics who shone again, about young players who decided to change their story, and even about rookies who already bear the responsibility of protecting the franchise's future. So, stay with me until the end, because every detail of this story shows that this team could be building something much bigger than we imagined. No one could have written a better script. Keenan Allen, one of the greatest wide receivers in Chargers history, was back after a frustrating season with the Chicago Bears. Many had already declared his career was in decline, that he would no longer have an impact at the highest level. But when the ball went up in Brazil, Allen showed why his name still resonates in the hearts of fans. He had 7 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown, but more than the numbers, it was the way he performed. Decisive, confident, experienced. Herbert sought out Allen in moments of pressure, and he responded as if he had never left Los Angeles. The crowd in the stadium erupted when he scored his touchdown, and on social media, the player himself couldn't hide his excitement at being back home. It's worth remembering, Allen was drafted in 2013, became one of the franchise's greatest receivers, surpassed 10,000 receiving yards, and shared that honor only with legend Antonio Gates. His departure seemed like the end of an era, but now, perhaps we're seeing the beginning of a new phase, even more special, because something different is in the air. And what's more, Jim Harbaugh's new offensive system, which everyone believed was based on heavy running, has actually opened up space for Allen to take center stage again. With young talents like Ladd, McConkey, and Quentyn Johnston sharing the defense's attention, Allen doesn't have to carry the offense alone. This gives him the freedom to do what he does best, find holes in the middle of the field, and turn passes into decisive plays. If anyone still had doubts about his usefulness, this victory in Brazil has already served as a definitive answer. And speaking of young talent, the story of the night wasn't just about Allen's experience, but also about the turnaround of a wide receiver many had already called a bust in the draft. I'm talking about Quentyn Johnston, and what he did against the Chiefs may have been the true turning point of his career. When the Chargers selected Quentyn Johnston with the 22nd overall pick in the 2023 draft, the hype was enormous. The franchise and its fans believed they were bringing a true game changer to Los Angeles, someone capable of quickly becoming the team's #1 wide receiver and giving Justin Herbert an elite weapon for years to come. But the reality, at least so far, had been very different than expected. Johnston endured a career marked by inconsistency, many dropped balls in crucial moments, and statistics that didn't justify the confidence and investment of a first-round pick. To make matters worse, fans were already losing patience as NFL analysts began to label Johnston cruelly as a bust, something that can forever mark a player's career. The narrative seemed set, another wasted talent. But last Saturday, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Quentyn Johnston decided to turn the page and write a new story. In the Chargers' first offensive drive against the Kansas City Chiefs, he showed what he was made of. In a seemingly simple play, he received the ball on the move, accelerated, broke tackles, and turned the reception into extra yards using precisely what has always been his strengths: speed and explosiveness. By the end of the night, Johnston had 79 receiving yards, 39 of which were gained after the catch, a detail that directly recalls what he did in his glory days at TCU when he carried the Horned Frogs to the national championship game. The difference was that this time, he wasn't just a college prospect, he was showing his worth on the world's most challenging stage, the NFL. More than the numbers, what caught the eye was his poise. Each well-executed route revealed a more mature player, aware of the importance of the moment and determined to prove it wasn't a draft mistake. It was a performance brimming with confidence, the kind that can change the perception of an entire career. So much so that coach Jim Harbaugh himself couldn't hide his excitement after the game. With few words but great emphasis, he exclaimed, "Quentyn, what a game!" A short phrase, but it felt like a shout of validation, almost as if to say, "This is what we expected from you." And the confidence didn't come from the coach alone. Back in the offseason, Justin Herbert had already hinted at his belief in Johnston's potential. In interviews, the quarterback stated he wanted to throw to the wide receiver as much as possible. Now, with this performance in Brazil, it seems clear that Herbert knew this moment was coming, and Johnston delivered exactly when the team needed it most. The impact of this evolution goes beyond a solid performance in isolation. With Keenan Allen proving he's still a key player even after his return, and rookie lad McConkey bringing dynamism and energy to the offense, Johnston becomes the piece that could transform this receiving core into one of the most feared in the NFL. After all, he possesses something no one else on the roster does, the rare combination of imposing physical size and elite speed. This combination makes him unique, and if he can maintain his consistency, he could finally live up to the hype created the day he was drafted. Fans, if this game in Sao Paulo was just the beginning, get ready, because the Chargers' passing attack could be about to explode. This is Johnston's chance to silence the critics once and for all, win back the fans, and cement himself as a fundamental pillar of the franchise's future. And of course, while Johnston shown on offense, another dramatic story unfolded on the defensive side. Troubling news shook the team early on, and the absence of a key player forced other players to step up. Not everything was a celebration in the Chargers' debut. In the second quarter, linebacker Denzel Perryman suffered an ankle injury and left the game as questionable to return. The veteran, who had signed a short-term contract precisely to bring experience and solidity to the defense, left the field just as the team was leading 10-0. This raised an immediate alarm. Without Perryman, who would hold off the Chiefs' incredibly strong offensive line, it was then that less heralded names like Troy Dye gained momentum, demonstrating the depth of the roster. But while the defense sought to reorganize, another area caught everyone's attention: the offensive line. And here comes a protagonist who may have assured fans peace of mind for the rest of the season. Joe Alt, chosen in the 2024 draft as one of the most promising talents on the offensive line, Alt was thrown into the fire after Rashawn Slater's injury, which left him lost for the season. The mission? Protect Herbert's blindside against none other than Chris Jones and the defense of the reigning AFC champions. A daunting challenge for any veteran, let alone a young man transitioning positions. But what we saw was a spectacle. Alt displayed technique, calm, and discipline worthy of a veteran. In college at Notre Dame, he already had a reputation for being a consistent player who understood leverage and knew how to use his 6'0" height intelligently. And all of this showed on the field in Brazil. Throughout the game, Herbert seemed more relaxed, confident that his blindside protector wouldn't leave any gaps. This performance not only gives the team confidence, but also shows that the Chargers may have found their anchor on the offensive line for the coming years. In a sport where quarterback protection defines wins and losses, having Joe Alt shine so early is almost like earning an extra first-round pick. And if the debut was already this high, imagine what lies ahead. The Chargers leave Brazil not only with a huge victory, but also with important answers. Allen is still decisive. Johnston may finally be becoming a star, and Alt has shown he can be the rock Herbert so desperately needs. Fans, get ready. This season promises to be a roller coaster, and we'll be with you through every chapter of this story.